Hey everyone, welcome back to With Tiny Farm. If you're new here, my name is Marissa and today I am going to be walking you through my whole process of sowing seeds, and actually this video is going to be every single day showing you what I do to grow my microgreens hydroponically. When I created this channel, I decided I just wanted to be real most of the time. So right now I have zero makeup on, I just fed the horses, I haven't even brushed my teeth yet, but this is usually when I sow my seeds in the morning. Is first thing, I just try to knock it out on my seed sowing day. So anyways, this is what you get. If that's your vibe, give me a follow. So let's get started. Okay, I'm gonna be starting with my large seeds. So I've got speckled pea here, and I soak this for at least 12 hours, so usually overnight. And then I have my black oil sunflower here. I soak this for at least about 8 hours, so overnight as well, but I try to soak the peas a little bit longer than my sunflowers. So I put my sunflowers in a bag because if you were to just soak them loose like this, a lot of them kind of float around. It's just kind of a pain in the butt, so this just keeps them contained. My camera's about to die, so I'm going to try to finish this part before it dies. Basically what I do is just dump them on here. They're still wet because I drained them and sprayed them off. Kind of get them in a single layer here. Then give it a spritz. I really love this sprayer. I'll link it below for you guys. Okay, good. And then I'm just gonna take these to the spare bedroom and put another flat bottom tray on top with a weight, and then we're good to go. Okay, I charged my battery. Guys, I'm an amateur YouTuber, so I only have one battery for my camera. Now if I can get monetized and start making some money off this channel, then maybe I'll invest in a better set of gear. But otherwise, thank you guys for watching. It helps me get my watch hours towards monetization. Okay, so this is my speckled pea. This is super easy to grow. I love this. It's really easy to harvest as well. What I do is I just lay it out here and try to get it in a single layer. Like that. Sometimes they can be a little bit of a pain, but just keep pushing down until they're in a single layer. Okay. I think the sprayer is like $7 or $8 on Amazon, guys. It is awesome. If you're doing this with a hand sprayer, your hand gets tired. I know, because I did that for several weeks and my husband was like, use your automatic sprayer. And I was like, why didn't I think of that? Okay, so now I'm going to focus on my smaller varieties. So for these, I just have these little mesh inserts. I get them from onthegrow.net and I love them. I've only been growing hydroponically for a few months now, so I feel like I've kind of worked out some kinks. I love this because I don't have dirt to dispose of. It's just a lot cleaner. The worst part of the process is scraping the roots off of these after you harvest. But actually, I've been paying my daughter to do that, so that's been nice. Okay, so I spray these before I put the seeds on, and that prevents the seeds from bouncing all around when you put them on. Okay, so I'll just talk about my varieties as I put them on, kind of like pros and cons of each one. So this is my purple radish, and this is another really easy one to grow. I get all of my seeds through True Leaf Market, except for my wasabi. I buy those through Johnny's. So radish, again, a really good variety if you're just starting out. Definitely try radish. They're bigger seeds. So I just sprinkle them on here. And what I do before my sowing day is I just measure out each container. I can't remember how many grams of radish I do. I'll have to share that on here as well. But I measure all these little containers out so it's easy. I know how much I'm putting on, and it's just the perfect amount. Okay, so there's my radish. I do 3 trays of radish every week. And guys, I'm just a small scale microgreens grower. I have one client. It's our local grocery store, pretty big grocery store. And I've thought about trying to scale my business. Then I always talk myself out of it. It really is a ball and chain business. I can't leave town with my husband or anything unless I have someone here checking on my microgreens and watering them every day. We've only left town one time in the past 2 years where I had to have someone come in and actually water my microgreens. And that was really stressful in itself because she didn't really have much training. I mean, she came over for like 5 minutes and I showed her what to do. And honestly, growing microgreens is such a trial and error thing that you need to know what to look for so that you can tailor certain things. And that really stressed me out. So just thinking about scaling my business, I would have to probably rent a space. I would have to have someone kind of trained so that they could harvest for me if needed, and they could come in, they would know what to look for. So yeah, right now I'm just kind of enjoying my one client, and you know, it's pennies compared to what I was making when I was working full time, but I am profiting. So, you know, for the amount of work it takes per week, I'm happy with the amount of money I'm making on it. Okay, get these trays sprayed. Okay, what's next? We have, this is broccoli. Broccoli is one of my best sellers. I really didn't think it would be, but people love broccoli microgreens. Again, this is a really good beginner variety to start with. I get the Waltham 29 variety. Another thing you want to look out for when you're doing this is you don't want to have them clumped in one certain area together too much. If that happens, they will mold most likely during the growing process, and you don't want that, obviously. So I try to get it spread out as good as I can here without any big clumps. Okay. I like to have all these trays kind of assembled and ready to go for my sowing day. If I don't, sometimes it can get pretty hectic. I'm trying to clean trays and clean my mesh just to make sure I have everything, and it's just good if you can get everything together the night before. Okay, so let's do, this is my wasabi, and I buy this through Johnny's because I bought it through True Leaf Market before, and there was a lot of other seeds in it. So I had something else growing with it, and I did not want that. I wanted straight wasabi. It is a very expensive seed, so I actually charge more per container for my small wasabi seeds than any of my other varieties. And they're very small seeds. The place where I get these mesh mats, they said that it's not really good to grow smaller seeds like this mustard and stuff on here. But I'm actually having good luck with that, so you know, you just need to do some trial and error for yourself. This does grow really well in dirt, not gonna lie. I mean, most of my varieties do a lot, they produce a lot thicker greens in the dirt. This takes maybe a little bit more time, so actually my growing cycle has moved from like 10 days to 14 days. That might eventually be kind of adjusted as we go. We'll just kind of see. But during the winter, I have to have a longer growing period because the room that I grow in gets a little colder and it takes longer for my greens to grow. So, you know, if it drops below a certain temperature, they kind of stall out a little bit. So every winter I've been just adjusting my grow times to be longer. Okay, my last variety is spicy salad mix from True Leaf Market, and this is one of my best sellers as well, but probably one of my least favorite to grow because it's a mix of seeds. It's a blend of seeds, so they don't all grow uniform together, like to the same height. You have some shorter, some taller, and that can really, you can get mold with those varieties very easily. Sometimes it just doesn't grow very tall. I have to turn the lights off sometimes just to get them to stretch a little bit more. So this is one of my more finicky growing kinds, but again, people love it, so I feel like I can't just discontinue it. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 more spices and then I will show you guys my setup in my grow room. Okay, here we are with the finished product for the day. Normally if I sow the seeds early in the morning, I will come back in the afternoon and just give them a spritz just to make sure they're moist. You want to keep them moist for their germination period so that they'll actually sprout. I've had times where I've missed coming in and misting them, and the germination was not that great. So, you know, some days, like if I have a headache or I'm not feeling good, I can tend to miss things, but I try not to because, I mean, that'll affect your whole harvest. So anyways, I put them individually up here, put another tray on top, and then I put a weight on top. So I had these extra stones from a project that we did outside, and so I just use these. You can use dumbbells if you want. Just try to use what you have on hand. You know, if you're just starting out, kind of make do, I guess. I'm kind of a DIYer. So anyways, I had these laying around. This is what I use. I didn't want to buy anything new. If you don't have as many weights or as many trays to put on top, you can actually stack them on top of each other, you know, maybe 4 or 5 high, so that way you don't need as many of these top trays. It's really just trial and error for your setup. So anyways, that is my sowing process. When I grew in dirt, it was a lot more labor intensive. I had to go out to the greenhouse and fill all my trays. I sifted my dirt, and then disposal was hard as well. I have another video where I talk about that process a little more in detail. But anyways, I will come back later in the evening and spritz these guys, and then that'll be it for our first day growing. While I have you here, I'll show you guys this side of my room. These are a week old, and I still have not turned the lights on yet, so I've been waiting for them to kind of stretch, which means they try to reach the light, and I just opened this window for video purposes, but I will have the room dark, and then these guys will stretch towards any light they see, and it'll give them just some more length, some more volume. But I will probably turn the lights on today because they're looking like they're a good height. And so you can kind of see what I was talking about with the spicy. So this is the spicy mix. It's not very uniform growing. There's some shorter in here, some taller, which means the air cannot flow perfectly through the stems, and that's what can lead to mold sometimes. This batch looks really good. And see, this one I believe is the wasabi, and look at how uniform it grows here. It's just like air can just flow through there really easy. So these are all things you learn as you kind of start growing. It took me a while to learn all this. I've been growing for a couple years, so it just gets easier with time, and I know a lot of you have asked a lot of good questions, but I feel like the biggest piece of advice I can give you is to just jump in and kind of log your results. Pay attention to what's happening every day, maybe write down what you're observing, and that's kind of what I did and how I learned a little bit more. It's evening time on what I like to call day 0, and all I'm gonna do is just give these guys a light mist, and that's it. It's pretty uneventful. It's day 1, and all I'm going to do today for these guys is just give them a light spritz, and that's it. I'm just going to do it one time today. It's about midday, and they should be good until tomorrow. As you can see here, we've got some germination going on, and it's only about 24 hours after sowing, so they actually start to germinate fairly quick. Okay guys, it is day 2 and it's in the morning. Typically I would spritz these guys maybe midday or mid-afternoon, but I have a super busy day. I'm going to be out of the house all day, so I'm just going to get it done in the morning, and then they should be good until tomorrow. So I'll just show you what we got going here. Some germination going on. See all the root hairs coming off there. They definitely need a spritz of water. Here. These are the peas. Starting to pop a little bit. Let's see. Yeah. Show you guys a radish here. I think I have them down here. Radishes are going. And sunflowers are popping too. So yep, day 2 is super easy. Just gonna spritz them and walk away. So I will see you guys tomorrow. It's day 3, and again, the only thing I'm going to do today is mist these guys. I will show you where we're at with germination. Go to my top shelf here. Yeah, they definitely need to be sprayed. When you see all those little root hairs, it means they're trying to get water. They want water. Peas are looking good. Those are peas. Let's go down here. Let's look at our radish and sunflower. Yep, everything's looking good. So just another easy day of only misting. Takes me a couple minutes and then I'm done. It is day 4 in the morning and it's looking like these guys are ready to be unstacked. Everybody's germinating really well, so I am going to take off these top trays and then I'll show you guys what I do after that. Okay, all the top trays are off. Right now I'm just going to give a little bit of water into each one of these. Oh, you can't see that. Oh, the roots kind of stick here a little bit. They stick to the bottom. So I'm just going to give a little bit of water into each one of these, and then I'm going to put my blackout dome on. Okay, and then I just use these black 1020 trays. If you want, you could just use those top trays that we pulled off. You could just flip them right over. I like these because I had them and they're darker, so they keep out more of the light. Set them on here. Everyone is covered. That's pretty much it for day 4, and I always make sure I have a fan going on in here because when you add the water in and then you cover these, if you just have stagnant air, sometimes you deal with mold, so you want to make sure you have some good airflow. Anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow. Day 5, all I did today was remove the blackout domes, and I gave about a half a cup of water in each tray. I'm going to keep the lights off so they're still kind of in a blackout mode, but they will just start to stretch. So if you look at them, they're starting to kind of stretch towards the front of the tray because the light is on the other side of the room. So I'll probably let these stretch for a couple days before I turn the lights on. So stay tuned to see how that progresses. Welcome to day 6. I'm going to show you what's going on with these guys. They are stretching kind of out this way, so I'll show you the side profile. See, they're stretching towards the other side of the room because I had the lights on over there. So what I'm going to do today is just put some more water in here, maybe about half a cup each tray, and then I'm going to turn them around so that they'll stretch the opposite way, and that'll give them a little bit more length, and I might turn the lights on tomorrow, so we'll see. So that's all for day 6. Welcome to day 7. I flipped these trays around yesterday and now they are growing the opposite way. It looks like they've stretched enough. I've got enough length on there. So I am going to turn the lights on today, which I have over here. Okay, lights are on, so these will stop stretching across the room and they will just reach up into the light. They'll probably grow just a little bit more and then they'll start to fill out. I wanted to show you guys this. So I had been growing in these trays. They're not the mesh, they just have these little slits in there. And I was having a really hard time with well, my germination was good, and then once I would be adding water, I would get a lot of seeds just dying, like this, you see? Look at all those just died. And so that is a perfect habitat for mold. Luckily my radish doesn't really mold. But anyways, I switched over to using these black trays for all of my growing, and it's been so much better. So now when I water, all of the roots have access to that water, and it's not like just this tiny little slit that's not really letting water evenly saturate everything. So my bad, I learned from trial and error. I ordered a lot more of these black trays. I initially used these because I use these with dirt and they work great with dirt, and I did not want to buy any more trays, but since I was having issues, I am switching over, and so this should be my last batch that I use these trays with. Anyways, guys, I feel like a lot of the time it's just trial and error. Sometimes you have to learn on your own what works and what doesn't work. So I turned these lights on today, and I'm just going to give these guys some water just once today, and that'll be it for day 7. We will see you back here tomorrow. We are on day 8, and some of these guys are looking parched. I came in, it was pretty hot in here, and these guys had drank up all their water. So I gave them about a cup to a cup and a half each tray. Got them good and soaked under there, and they should be springing back. So that's all for day 8. Now we just wait until tomorrow. It is day 9 and everything is looking great. Look at these guys, if I can get it to focus. Everything's really filling in. They're getting a darker green on top from the light. I'll show you guys. Top shelf. My peas, look at that. They're long on this side, but not on the back. So I think I'm just gonna rotate these trays today, and then I'm just gonna give them water. So let's see how dry they are. Yeah, they're pretty dry. There's a little bit of water back there, but probably put about a cup to a cup and a half in each tray. So yeah, we're looking good. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We are on day 10, and honestly guys, these look like they're ready to harvest, except for it is Sunday and I usually deliver on Thursdays. So I'm gonna wait till Wednesday to harvest. Right now my growing cycle is a little bit longer than 10 days because over the winter it tends to get kind of cold in this room and my growth is a little bit stunted. So right now I have them at like 14 days, but I will probably reduce that time in the near future just because it's gonna start getting warm out and it'll be like 70 some degrees in this room, if not hotter, which makes them do a lot better. So you kind of have to tailor your growing situation to what you have going on, your environment. And the environment in my room I'm growing in is not the greatest because it's surrounded by outside walls. So, well, there's 2 walls that face the outside. So it gets cold in here and it gets hot in here depending on the season. So I'll show you guys where we're at with the growth on the microgreens. Here is the spicy mix. Looking pretty good. Another spicy. Wasabi. Everything's filling out nicely. This broccoli looks really thick and nice. Yeah, these all look great. I mean, I could probably harvest today on day 10, but here's my sunflowers. I need to knock some of these seed holes off, but other than that, looking good. Radish. And aside from my germination issue that I told you about, the radish is looking good. And then up top, my peas aren't as tall as they usually are when I harvest them, so it'll be good for these to go another few days and they'll get a little bit taller. Got some more spicy up there. Yeah, anyways, so let's just check the water level. Yep, it's getting pretty dry. So again, for today, I am just going to add some water, and then that will be it for day 10. So again, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Day 11, and these guys are still looking good. I got a little bit more length on my peas, and like I said yesterday, they look ready to harvest, but I don't want to mess up my schedule, so I've got to tailor my growing to, I got to pare it back down to 10 days instead of 14. Oh, those guys definitely need water. They're a little bit parched. Other than that, let's see what the... Yep, they're pretty dry. So again, today I am just going to give some water and walk away. Here we are, day 12, and I've decided I'm just going to harvest tomorrow, but I will show you the finished product of each variety that I sell. So I've got wasabi, looking thick, purple radish, spicy salad mix, speckled pea, and down here I have broccoli and sunflower with a little bit of pea coming up there. So there you have it, guys. That's what I do every week. I usually stagger my growing, so I've got one batch over here that just got uncovered and these guys are ready to harvest. Anyways, it's as simple as that. So if you're thinking about doing this as a job, you kind of get the gist of what I have to do every day, and some days it literally takes me 2 minutes and I'm done. So harvest day is definitely the most labor intensive. It's several hours of harvesting and cleanup, but aside from that, growing microgreens is pretty straightforward, and really depending on, you know, how many clients you have, it can take only a few hours a week. So anyways, guys, if you have any questions, drop them in the comments. Thanks for watching. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and give me a like. I will see you on the next one.